In this video, we will journey back through time to explore the most dangerous ancient animals that once ruled our planet. These were not just big creatures, they were fierce predators and powerful beasts that could crush, tear, and dominate anything in their path. 1. Argentinosaurus, the earth-shaking giant. Argentinosaurus is often considered the largest land animal to have ever lived, a title that earns it legendary status even among dinosaurs. This titanic sauropod roamed the lush lands of what is now Argentina around 95 to 100 million years ago. It could grow to over 100 feet in length and weigh up to 100 tons, the equivalent of more than 14 elephants. Its sheer size defies belief. Just one vertebra from its back was over 5 feet tall. It had a long neck that allowed it to reach the highest treetops, feeding peacefully on vast amounts of leaves and vegetation. Despite its size, Argentinosaurus was a slow-moving, gentle giant. Its massive legs supported its bulk like living pillars, and its enormous tail likely helped with balance and defense. When discovered by a farmer in the 1990s, its bones were so large that they were initially mistaken for petrified logs. Argentinosaurus didn't need to fight. It ruled through size alone, and it's easy to imagine how tales of sky-touching giants or world-carrying beasts could have come from ancient people encountering these fossils. 2. Patagotitan, the towering titan. Patagotitan maorum is another colossal sauropod from the late Cretaceous period of South America. It was discovered in Patagonia in 2014, and like Argentinosaurus, it belonged to a group of dinosaurs called titanosaurs, named for their immense size. Patagotitan is estimated to have reached up to 122 feet in length and weighed around 70 tons. That's longer than a blue whale and heavier than most houses. Its fossils were so massive that they had to be airlifted by helicopter from the dig site. Walking on 4 sturdy legs and bearing a long neck and tail, Patagotitan was a walking skyscraper. Its presence would have been impossible to ignore in the ancient landscape. It may have lived in herds, moving together like a slow-moving army of giants, shaking the earth with every step. The discovery of Patagotitan added to the awe of South America being home to the world's largest land creatures, being so mythically huge that they likely inspired legends of Earth titans and colossal gods in the sky. 3. Dreadnoughtus, the fearless giant. Dreadnoughtus is not just a name. It's a declaration, meaning fears nothing. This behemoth lived in what is now Argentina around 77 million years ago. This massive sauropod grew up to 85 feet long and weighed more than 65 tons, with some paleontologists estimating it could be even heavier. What makes Dreadnoughtus particularly impressive is how complete its fossil remains are compared to other giants. Scientists found more than 70% of its skeleton, allowing them to understand just how immense and muscular this creature really was. Its gigantic frame would have deterred any predator. With thick legs like tree trunks and a neck longer than a school bus, Dreadnoughtus was the embodiment of strength and size. It ate constantly to support its bulk, consuming entire trees and forests over its lifetime. If ever there was a real-life inspiration for land-bound gods or mountain-sized beasts in mythology, Dreadnoughtus would be a perfect candidate. 4. Paraceratherium, the hornless land rhino. Long before dinosaurs were replaced by mammals, Paraceratherium ruled the Earth during the Oligocene epoch, about 30 million years ago. It was the largest land mammal to ever live, bigger than any elephant. This hornless relative of the modern rhinoceros could grow up to 26 feet long, stand over 18 feet tall at the shoulder, and weigh over 20 tons. Unlike modern rhinos, Paraceratherium had a long neck and legs, resembling a cross between a giraffe and a tank. Its massive size made it immune to predators, and its presence likely dominated the grassy plains of Central Asia. It fed on soft leaves and shrubs, using its elongated upper lip to strip branches. With a beast this tall and imposing wandering the open lands, it's easy to see how legends of land colossi and elephant-like deities took root in ancient folklore. Finding its bones in ancient times might have seemed like evidence of giants from a forgotten era. 5. Gigantopithecus, the real King Kong. Gigantopithecus was a massive ape that lived in Southeast Asia about 2 million to 300,000 years ago. It stood up to 10 feet tall and weighed over 1,000 pounds, far larger than any gorilla or orangutan alive today. This gigantic primate lived in dense forests and likely moved on all fours, although some researchers believe it may have occasionally walked upright. Fossils of Gigantopithecus have been found primarily in China, India, and Vietnam, consisting mostly of jaws and teeth, which are massive in themselves. It probably fed on bamboo and fruit, similar to a giant panda's diet. Due to its size, it would have been a dominant force in its ecosystem. The legends of giant, hairy forest creatures like Bigfoot or the Yeti may well have their roots in memories or oral traditions of this real-life King Kong, proof that ancient mythical ape men weren't entirely fictional after all. 6. Therizinosaurus, the scythe lizard. Therizinosaurus is one of the strangest and most nightmarish dinosaurs ever discovered. Living in what is now Mongolia during the late Cretaceous period, it grew up to 33 feet long and stood upright like a predator, but it was actually a herbivore. Its most terrifying feature was its massive claws, which reached over 3 feet long, the longest claws of any known animal in history. With a long neck, huge belly, a beaked mouth, and feathers covering its body, Therizinosaurus looked like a mix of bird, reptile, and demon. Despite its creepy appearance, it likely used its claws to pull down branches or defend itself. To ancient peoples who found its bones, this creature must have appeared like a forest monster straight out of a nightmare. Its claws alone could inspire myths of cursed creatures, demon beasts, or forest guardians with terrifying hands. 7. Elasmotherium, the giant land unicorn. Known as the Siberian unicorn, Elasmotherium lived during the Ice Age and may have survived into the time of early humans. It was a massive, shaggy, one-horned rhinoceros that could grow up to 15 feet long, stand over 6 feet tall, and weigh over 4 tons. Unlike today's rhinos, Elasmotherium had a single, huge horn on its forehead, possibly over 3 feet long. It thundered across the grasslands of Eurasia like a charging tank. Its strange appearance likely inspired the original unicorn myths in Europe and Asia, not as a dainty, magical horse, but as a massive, earth-pounding beast that commanded awe and fear. Early humans might have seen them or their bones, leading to tales of powerful, horned beasts with spiritual significance. 8. Dinotherium, the elephant from nightmares. Dinotherium was an ancient relative of the modern elephant, but with an eerily twisted design. It lived from the Miocene to the early Pleistocene across Africa, Europe, and Asia. It stood over 13 feet tall and weighed more than 10 tons. What set it apart were its strange downward curving tusks, which jutted from the lower jaw rather than the upper. This gave it a haunting, demon-like appearance, especially when fossilized skulls were discovered in caves and riverbeds. Some believe the legend of the Cyclops was inspired by elephant skulls like these, which appear to have a large hole in the center where the trunk would have been. Dinotherium may have used its tusks to dig up roots or strip bark, but to early humans, it must have looked like a mythical guardian of the underworld.